Hi, welcome back to another video. This is V and you're watching Buzzing with V. Today I'm going to share with you 3 dies from scrapdivadesigns.com. Here is all of the information that you need. All of the links will be listed below. Starting off with the Postage stamp mini album die set. I'm making some notebooks and notepads with the thermal cinch by We Are Makers, and that's the one I'm going to feature. I'm also going to share with you the Armoire tag die set, which is currently sold out. My apologies. Next, I'm going to share with you the Market Stand mini album die set as well. So in this video, I'm going to do a craft with me using the thermo cinch, give you all of the tips and tricks that you need in order to make a notebook or notepad. I made this prior to the video here. This is the Armoire tags die set, and I just love how it turned out. I love how the charm turned out. The charm, believe it or not, is from Buttons, Galore, and More. Here is the packaging here. I also used some buttons on the Armoire. Here's the Market Stand die set, and I love these different shaped notebooks. As far as what I'm working with, I'm using the Cutie Pie collection by American Crafts. These are all the pieces that I've already pre-cut. I will be cutting out some pages with you on the video just so you can see how it's done. So as far as the tip here for copy paper, I'm using 4 sheets. My machine was able to take 4 sheets without warping or tearing. I'm not sure how yours will do, if it could take more or less, so you want to test that out. I'm using 2 sheets of cardstock for the cover and the back, and you'll see why, because we have to play around with the spine in order to make this work. So here are my 4 sheets. Make sure that you separate them, otherwise they will stick. So I'm going to insert it into the machine later, and I'm going to do that with you as well. These are the spines here that I'm using. The first one came with the thermo cinch. The second one is sold separately. You get a few pieces. I'm using this pink floral here. I thought it would go good. The thermo cinch also sells other adhesives separately to make these notebooks, so you can check into that as well. So here's my die cutting machine here. It is the Sizzix, and I'm using the 4 sheets, and I'm all done here now. And so I'm gonna pull them apart, so because they do stick. Another tip and trick that I have for making these notebooks with the thermo cinch is be sure to cut out enough copy paper. As far as how many these spines hold, they hold roughly 50 sheets of copy paper and 25 sheets of cardstock. So be sure you have enough. If you don't, there will be a gap, and it'll create it once it's in the machine. It'll be a gap anywhere on within the notebook. So as far as the spine, you're going to want to cut it down to your size, and don't be afraid to do that. Here I am folding the spine on the scored lines. I'm going to take a pencil here and mark my measurements. I am eyeballing it, not using a ruler, so I'm going to use the front cover to mark those measurements there. And so just taking the pencil here. So I'm going to start off with the measurements right under that diagonal corner there. And I decided to go with that because I didn't want a gap there. There would have been a gap, or I could have cut that part off as well. However, there could have been a chance where I could miscut, and I didn't want that. So I decided to go with covering the middle section with the spine instead. We're going to cover all of that later, and you'll see. So just trust the process, and we will get to the finish line here. So as I'm doing that, I'm just going to do it really quick here with the pencil. You do it on both sides, get a straight line and cut. You can also cut with your trimmer as well. So that would work as well. If you need help or anything like that, just go on the We Are Makers IG page, and you can see a demonstration of how to create notebooks with this. It's very detailed and very quick and to the point, and that will definitely help you out as well if you weren't able to get any of your questions answered in this video. So here I'm just gonna make sure all of my pages are aligned. They need to be aligned and pushed against that spine. Otherwise, that adhesive isn't going to glue to the pages, and that is crucial. And so just take your time with this. That's another tip and trick. Take your time. Make sure all of the pages are touching the glue there. And then you can glue down your spine and you're all ready to go. So as you can see, I am using 2 cardstocks for the back cover and the front cover. And I'm going to start off with the inner cover first, and then I'm going to build on top of that with a different cardstock, and you'll see in a bit what I'm doing. So go ahead and turn on your thermal cinch, and here's the button here on it's the power button. It's colored in red, and once that's turned on, you're going to see it flashing. Once it's done flashing, that is when you're ready to insert your notebook. So I'm going to wait for that to be ready. Once it's ready, you'll hear a beep. And once you hear a beep, you're all ready to put your notebook inside the machine. Here's the beep that we're all waiting for. So once that goes off, you're all set to go. Insert the notepad into the machine. Be sure that the spine is touching the bottom. That's where the heat is. Make sure to turn on the timer by pushing the button again. Once the timer goes off, you can take your notebook out and set it on the side. Let your notebook cool off for 5 minutes, and it is all ready to decorate as you please. So here I'm going to go ahead and start off with the cover. I want to show you what the pages look like. So here they are, all set. You know, these notebooks kind of feel like composition books. You know how this composition book is hard to open at first, but it eventually does. Same with these ones here. I'm sharing with you the cover. It's in pink with hearts, and here each page has some dotted lines there, and that's because of the die. So it's just another detail that you can't get without the die. I wanted to take you through the process as much as I could with the allotted time that I have. So here I'm just judging things, trying to see what layout works for me and what looks good. And so I decided to go with some tulle, and I stitched on some tulle onto that postage stamp die cut. I am using also some Buttons Galore and More sprinklets, and I will have them linked below as well. I'm gluing my pom-pom trim prior to gluing the top cover. So I did use some hot glue. I just wanted it to stay. Here I'm using some liquid glue to glue on the cover and making sure that it's all set in there. Here I'm putting in some hearts, and that's going to be sandwiched in between the tulle and the front cover. So I did glue that on with hot glue. You can use liquid glue as well. I decided to go with some gold for the spine to cover that part. I just thought it just gave it a little bit more detail. And as you can see, I used the word spread between love, so it really would say spread love. I went with that instead. And I'm just moving some of these hearts in order to put down the letters. So sometimes glue does get onto your sequence or resin bits like mine, and it's okay. Just keep going with it. And sometimes I like to use tulle as a shaker instead of the other materials. So here's the book here. I went ahead and added the airplane as well as the envelope. I love how it turned out. I also added some felt. Here are the pages, so just a little flip through there. I also added some pom-pom trim to the back cover. I'd like to share with you this notebook again. I just love how it turned out. I used the Buttons Galore and More pieces for babies. I love it. It's so cute. Again, here is the market stand. So tell me which one's your favorite, and I hope you'll create one of these as well. And I will see you in the next video.